Sortie 2. Signal Stealing. 23 October, 3067. FWS Retribution, Captain Eisenhower's conference room. Lieutenant Commander Dane Bethesda. Retribution N3.
Good morning, Skipper and staff. Good job to all hands refitting and requisitioning what we could to repair and replace our units. There's no doubt we took some heavy blows on Atreus. Ionus appears to be, for the time being at least, off ComStar's radar. We still have no way of knowing how the rest of the Free World's League's holdings have fared since 13 October. Last we heard, right when the assault began, the other great houses were also under attack. Whether or not the entire inner sphere is Blakeist-controlled at this point, we can't say. That's the point of today's sortie. We need to find a way to wrest control of at least a slice of the League space communications grid from ComStar. We won't be able to link up with any other surviving units of the League Navy or Army unless we can start taking back the grid from the enemy. If you ask me, we collectively ceded far too much control over it all in the first place, and that error has cost us dearly. Your mission is to target the Word of Blake's centralized communications network by infiltrating one of their digital net nodes. Luckily, we had these pre-sighted before the jihad began. If you want to be able to see to our own forces and intel to be able to get us anything useful at all in the future, we'll need to start by taking parts of the comms grid, piece by piece. Your target is the Moon of Declaration in the Moros system, about 7 light years away. On Declaration is the target net node, a small outpost that houses the grid extension for almost 5 parsecs in this region of League space. Once you've dropped near the node, you'll have to infiltrate the station and enter a malware from a single unit. Every unit will have that malware stored, of course. That will allow us to hijack the node's communications relay capabilities to use it to reach out to friendly units in the region that may have survived. Your secondary objective will be to download the encrypted ComStar key at the station's server building. This will allow intel to collect against ComStar operations. Hopefully we'll be able to glean critical intelligence for future strikes once we have their comms decrypted. Amex will be leading the assault. Sorry you don't have guard support. We're going to need a lot more salvage to make them an effective fighting force again. Either that, or we'll have to make contact with other League units once we have control of the node. Over to Intel for more.
Major Patrick Nova, 1st Free World's Guards S2.
Team, from what we collected about these nodes prior to hostilities, it is likely that all enemy units which maintain and patrol them are autonomous battle mechs. They are not manned. This likely means they will not be as proficient in combat as piloted mechs, but don't underestimate them. In numbers, they can still prove overwhelming. The autonomous units communicate with the node, which communicates via status relay every 2 hours. So we've got to positively control the node so the cryptologist can insert dummy relay reports before the next automatic update is sent back. As a result of the autonomous nature of the units stationed on Declaration, you don't have to take them all out. You just need to take your objectives. The primary objective is positive control of the network via malware insertion. This is essential. Secondarily, if you can download the encrypted key from the servers, it will make Intel's job a lot easier going forward, and will give you all targets of opportunity in the future. We have low confidence that the autonomous mechs form a company-sized collective. It could be more. We just don't have good insight into force disposition. We have high confidence that the station also features static autonomous defenses that will fire upon any units without ComStar IFF. That's a problem we'll have to tackle another day. The enemy does not have space or air support at these net nodes, so you can count on air and space superiority. Retribution's carrier wing will provide air support, so you'll have light and heavy attack aircraft on your side. However, the static defenses likely can target air and ground units, so flyers, watch yourselves. You're not immune from fire here. One more silver lining is that the incessant propaganda that the Blakeists are blasting can be silenced by our taking of this node. In times like these, the systems throughout the League need every bit of morale they can get. This sortie has a high potential for reward, and the strike is limited. Come back in one piece and get us what we need. Pending any questions, this concludes the brief. Godspeed, pilots.
S2's briefing notes. Scenario-specific rules. Time limit. The scenario will be played to a maximum of 6 rounds. This represents the limited amount of time between automatic station updates. Forced withdrawal rules are in effect for the company. Force preservation is a primary consideration of Captain Eisenhower. The company spent most of its war chest points refitting after the attrition on Atreus, and will likely not be able to refit as successfully following similar levels of attrition. If a unit is damaged to half of its total structure, rounded down, it must retreat expeditiously to its starting edge for withdrawal. Forced withdrawal rules are not in effect for the enemy. Autonomous units are programmed to fight to utter destruction to defend their assigned objectives. Objective Alpha. Insert malware into the main net node communications hub. Every AMMech unit has the malware preloaded. At least one friendly unit must capture Objective Alpha by being within 3 hexes of the objective during the end phase of any 2 subsequent end phases. This represents the amount of time it takes to insert the malware. The friendly units within 3 hexes of Objective Alpha do not need to be the same unit or units. The status of the capture of Objective Alpha can be passed from unit to unit. Objective Bravo. Download the ComStar crypto key from the server build. Every AMMech unit is part of a shared C3 network, so at least one friendly unit must be within 3 hexes of Objective Bravo during any 2 subsequent end phases. This represents the amount of time it takes to download the key. The friendly unit or units within 3 hexes of Objective Bravo do not need to be the same unit or units. The status of the capture of the objective can be passed from unit to unit. Victory conditions. Major victory. That'll net you 800 war chest points. Both Objective Alpha and Objective Bravo capture requirements are fulfilled by the end of the sortie time limit. Minor victory. Worth 600 war chest points. Objective Alpha is captured according to capture requirements, but Objective Bravo requirements are not met by end of sortie time limit. Minor defeat. Only worth 400 war chest points. Objective Bravo is captured according to capture requirements, but Objective Alpha requirements are not met by the end of the sortie time limit. And finally, major defeat. That's only 300 war chest points. Neither Objective Alpha nor Objective Bravo capture requirements are met by the end of the sortie time limit. Any questions? Alright, get to your stations.